I know gold is not enough. She's a dime.
What's going on, guys? QC Car Guy here, back for another video. Today we are going to do one of the most popular tags that exists for automotive YouTubers. Today we are doing 5 things I like and 5 things I dislike about my Ford Focus ST. This video is going to be the 5 things I like about my ST, like or love. Really, it's kind of love. So number 1 is the looks. You know, hatchbacks have this kind of love it or hate it reputation. You either love hatchbacks or you don't. You don't really see much in the middle of the two. I, for one, am someone who absolutely loves hatchbacks. I think sporty hatchbacks and or hot hatches are incredibly good looking. The Ford Focus ST, the Fiesta ST, the 2008 to 2012 Subaru WRX STIs, so on and so forth. The cars that would fit into hatch society, even the Mini Cooper S. They're great looking cars, in my opinion. I love the way this car sits. I love its fenders. I love the way they kind of flare just a little bit. I might be getting those pulled in the near future to make it even more aggressive. But I love the front fascia of this car. The bumper looks so nice and aggressive. I love the back of this car too. I love the way the bumper flows into the middle to just expose that center exit exhaust just perfectly. Other than the fact that I think this car needs a good window tint because it looks a bit like a fishbowl without it, I think the looks of this car are just excellent. I can't complain at all. So number 2, the second thing I like the most about this car is the power. So if you haven't seen it already, make sure to go check out the full review I did of this car, in which I talked about every nuance of the car and what it's like to drive and own and so on and so forth. But if you haven't seen it, and as a quick summary, this car makes 252 horsepower, 270 pound-feet of torque, and it feels like way more than that. This car has plenty of power. I've never been in a situation in which I felt it needed to be faster. I don't think I ever will, because this car isn't meant to be, you know, the fastest thing ever in a straight line. This car is well balanced. It has just enough power. I don't think it's too much or too little. And it is intoxicating when the boost kicks in around 3,000 RPM and it just launches you. It is one of the best feelings. So in a car that weighs only 3,000 or so pounds, 252 horsepower goes a long way. A third thing I really like about this car are the seats. They're so comfortable. So obviously, I'm a bigger guy, and that's one of the challenges with finding cars like this, whether you call them sports cars or not, I personally do, is that a lot of times the bolstering on seats is just far too aggressive for people my size. And that's kind of how it was with the GTI I had prior to this. The bolstering, it wasn't that it was super narrow per se, but it was that it was very hard. It was just essentially metal pieces in the bolsters, so it made it pretty uncomfortable over a long distance. But these seats are excellent. They're not too loose and they're not too tight. These aren't the Recaros or anything like that. These are just the standard ST1 2013 Ford Focus cloth seats, and I love them. I've never felt uncomfortable in these seats. There's enough lumbar support. It's not spectacular, but it's enough to get you by over a long trip. So whether you're a bigger guy like me or a smaller person, these seats will be comfortable either way. The fourth thing I love the most about this car is its practicality. This is, again, something I touch on in the full review of this car, but hatchbacks in general, especially 4-door ones like this, are so practical. You can fit so much in this car. The trunk space is enormous. Not to mention there's still 2 doors behind me, so that there is space actually for people to fit in this car. So even though my girlfriend has a 2008 Honda Accord, which is, you know, a full-size sedan, we use this car to go get groceries and to go shopping, because overall I have way more storage space than even that car. Hatchbacks, especially 4-doors like this, are incredibly practical. Always would recommend that. The last thing I love the most about this car is its value. So I purchased this car used with 62,000 miles for $15,000. This car, along with most of the Ford Performance lineups, yeah, every car depreciates, but this car does not depreciate as much as people had originally thought it would. Finding a $15,000 Ford Focus ST, even the original one, the 2013, like I have, is rare at this point. For $15,000, it's very rare. Most of them are still selling for close to 20. And so for $15,000, like I got this car, that is a lot of car for the money. This car is extremely capable in just about every scenario, both in terms of everyday use and in terms of sport ability. As you might have saw from that little twisty section back there, it has excellent grip, great power. All of those things put together equal a car that has excellent value. I believe this car to be worth more than $15,000, even in its 70,000 mile state. Its ability to perform in every scenario is second to none, honestly. I would consider the Focus ST to be the king of the hot hatches for sure. So there you have it, guys. That's 5 things I love about this car. Stay tuned for the next video in which I'll do 5 things I dislike about this car. And there are certainly some things, no matter how much I love it. But until then, leave a like if you liked what you saw, leave a comment on what you liked or didn't like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And until the next video, this is QC Car Guy signing out. Peace.